BLKICE Chronicles massive. I'm at the Las Vegas Film Festival and I'm sitting here with a legend. He's known as a major historian of the MAFIA. So we're sitting here with Frank Cullotta. He's known as the Brahma.
The Brahma, yeah.
The Bull.
The Bull.
Yeah, that's the close friends.
Just like close friends we're allowed to call me that.
Right. So we were speaking yesterday, prepping for the interview, and I asked you about the movies and how close the movies were to real mafia life.
I would say that if you watched Casino, it was like 97% accurate. Of course, they have to fictionalize things to make things more exciting to the public. But most pictures are probably around the same level of percent, 97%. You do have to put in a little glamour in order so it don't look boring.
So was it as glamorous as they show in the films?
In some cases it was, in some cases it wasn't. It depends on the crew, the outfit crew, or the syndicate crew that was involved. And in my lifestyle, sure, it was glamorous. We were able to communicate or socialize with movie stars or whatever. They loved to be around us. And business people. Everybody felt as though they needed, say, an outfit guy. I call it outfit. Everybody else calls it the syndicate. Chicago, we were known as the outfit. So if they had ties to us, that gave them a little pride, whoever it may be.
So would you say that your experience outside of the dirty work was more glamorous because you were in Las Vegas, you moved from Chicago to Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was glamorous in Las Vegas. You had to watch out for your profile more so being glamorous in Chicago because you would get more heat on it. But in Las Vegas, there was so much activity here, casinos and gambling. You were able to live this flamboyant life more so than you could in Chicago.
Okay. Now, to be in the mafia, you had to be Sicilian.
In most cases, yes. To be a boss of the mafia or the outfit, you had to be a Sicilian descent. You couldn't be Calabrese, Napolitan, and all these other dialects. You couldn't be that. You had to be a Sicilian.
So, BLKICE Chronicles massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing in the world famous VIP Records at 1020 East Pacific Highway in Long Beach, California. It is the place for you to pick up the BLKICE Chronicles Females DVD and the BLKICE Chronicles The Shifter DVD. Come in today, pick them up, you will be entertained. The BLKICE Chronicles.
What's the store name? You know it's Cdmptv.
Alright!
Females.
You got some work for me?
Females.
You want to work with me.
Why is that? What sets you apart?
Because I'm pretty in the face, slim in the waist, and I'm built. And besides, you're the only one I'll trust with my new form.
This summer, Crazy Dee, the mind that brought you Google Me, and Crazy Dee's remixes move like hotcakes, brings you the Females DVD, featuring the talents and starring
Susie the Crackhead, Constance Phillips, Bernice Champagne, Conwell Jacobs, Courtney Douglas.
Yes, Jesus loves me. Yeah.
My girl, sing, girl. Hey, how you doing? Sorry to cut in on anything, sorry to cut in on y'all sing. Hey, I'm Prodigy. What?
Females.
Hey, Prodigy. Hey, what's up, girl? Listen, you will never guess who I have photographed in Val. Who?
Are you serious? Do you actually think I'll be caught dead with you?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Come on out and get on the set. Checking out some of the shots.
Females.
Show me something else before I
don't think you realize who the fuck you talking to. Look, Crazy Dee, I want to work with you. So when can we shoot?
Females.
Here I am, doing my 1-2, my regular. Finding ways to promote the store and my digital kiosk. This time, I'm doing a 4-camera shoot. But it always seems when I'm in the middle of my most creative moments, I'm always getting interrupted. I can't stand that shit.
Female.
What sets you apart?
Because I'm pretty in the face, slim in the waist, and I'm built. And besides, you're the only one I'll trust with my new form.
What's going on? This is Crazy Dee, and I'm standing here with
Sharon Harrell from TC's Rib Crib.
and you're watching
BLKICE Chronicles.
Right now,
getting scripts in Cleveland because they're starting to bring film there. They say specifically for that role. When you receive the script for only role at the time you were able to come in because of who you are, what you make it, African American.
Well, that's a long explanation. I started breaking that barrier in television because there was nothing but black criminals to do on language. So I started playing district attorneys and doctors and stuff. First to have done that on television. And then I got the Emmy for Roots. And my agent and myself, God rest his soul, he was my battering man. We started doing it in features. And this opportunity came to play the Dion, an officer and gentleman that Scott Glenn had already had a part. But we did some research, and 2/3 of the DIs who trained the Navy pilots are minorities. So I don't know what he said to him, but he said, go for it. I went over and knocked on the door and 10 actors said, you got the part. So I didn't have to fight for it, but I did replace a white actor with a deeper situation. This is why I have my foundation. You can look it up on the computer. It's called the eracismfoundation.org. And I deal with young people. It does work on the young man as well. When every television show and every movie has a white male or female lead, this is not what America looks like. Don't see what America looks like, look at the commercials. And they're completely diversified. But it's been going on for generations, for so long, that they don't realize it's working on the minds of our young people. And they don't think they belong to create their subculture. Nobody's teaching them anything else, and they make mistakes. Immature, and a lot of them end up in jail. So my foundation is to bring them back to their basics. The way grandma used to do, before they went out the door, they had to dress properly, had to have some knowledge of their culture, respect for the elders and respect for the opposite sex. They had to have hygiene and physical fitness before they went out the door. And that's our responsibility. And tell them their stories about upon whose shoulders they stand. This is not in the major screens. So as a result, I'm kind of somewhat blacklisted, which I expected. But the truth remains the truth. I'll tell you an example of what I mean. Because I had 2 uncles in World War II. I was very proud of them. They fought under Patton. The other 2 uncles, who I'm very proud of, the other side of the family fought under McCarthy. There are 2 movies. One was Patton, in which my best friend George C. Scott, God rest his soul, was in. And the other was Clint Eastwood's Flag for Our Fathers. And there was no black men in either of those movies, with the exception of Patton was Ballet. Now, somebody didn't do sufficient research or they did it on purpose. But when they do something that has to do with our American history, in which we participate and die, they must be in the movie because it's spreading the wrong idea across this country. It's the DNA of racism, but then my foundation is e-racism. So it's no real villains in the story. It's just that's the way it's been for so long. It feels natural. So.
But he looks like Eddie Murphy with an afro. Take another look. That means that this man is multi-talented. If he can tell jokes by day, he can play Jimi Hendrix by night at the comedy club. He can impersonate Eddie Murphy. And he's jamming on the guitar. We're getting ready to drop something into his tail, you know what I'm saying? Because he did play Purple Haze for me. So he actually singled me out and said, what do you want to hear? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put a couple of dollars into his spot and keep it moving. So would you say that your experience outside of the dirty work was more glamorous because you were in Las Vegas, you moved from Chicago to Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was glamorous in Las Vegas. You had to watch out for your profile more so being glamorous in Chicago. Oh, because you would get more heat on you. But in Las Vegas, there was so much activity, casinos and gambling. You were able to live this flamboyant life more so than you could in Chicago.
Okay. Now, to be in the MAFIA, you had to be Sicilian.
In most cases, yes. To be a boss of the MAFIA or the outfit, you had to be a Sicilian descent. You couldn't be Calabrese, Napolitan, and all these other dialects. You couldn't be that. You had to be a Sicilian.
So, explain to the people what the difference between an Italian and a Sicilian is.
Well, most Italians do not consider Sicilians Italians, nor do Sicilians consider themselves being Italian. We are a different island in Italy, the boot, and we are a mixed race of people. The country was taken over by so many different countries that they had children with different, nationalities, let's say. And this is how we turned out. I mean, I'm liable to have, who knows what I'm liable to have in me. Because I'm Sicilian, I'm half Sicilian and half Bernese. And so it was always a part. We were like the bad mark towards the Italians don't want to be socialized with us because we were like, make them look bad, make the nationality look bad. So we didn't care.
Okay, so the Black Hand or Black Club or the mafioso organized, I would call it a resistance. Was that because you wanted to protect yourself? Was that something that was started here in America or was it started in Sicily?
It was started in Sicily.
Sicily, excuse me.
That's okay, no problem. It was started in Sicily. The Black Hand was very bad individuals. I would not consider them a part of the syndicate. They were the first things that came into this country, black came, and they were amusing their own kind. They would muscle their own kind. Instead of muscling Irishman, Jewish, Polish, or whatever, they would muscle their own kind. It was a safe haven because they knew their own kind didn't want to tell on them and get deported back to Italy because of the immigrants. You know, a lot of them snuck here too. So, and then the regular syndicate moved in and killed the black king.
Okay, so that was not connected.
No, not the black king and the Italian outfit.
Okay. Well, that's clearing up things because most people don't know that.
As a matter of fact, my father killed a few of them.
Oh, okay.
He killed a few of them.
Okay, so was the syndicate created to protect yourself in Sicily? I mean, was that what it was created?
Just creating an organization.
Because, like, let me give you an example of, I'm not affiliated with anything. God bless them, you know, that's what I say. But there was a feud between someone got killed and then the blood organization was created to protect people from Crips. Right. That's how the Crip blood. So it wasn't an organization originally created to protect
their own kind?
Yes.
No, I can't say that. It was created to make more money.
Really?
To have an organization of strength. You take care of your own kind, and you would take care of outsiders too, of other nationalities. But it wasn't created to protect your own kind. Mm-hmm. It may appear that way, you know. And most Italians are Sicilians who say, yeah, I'm Sicilian, I'm Italian. And most people would back off from thinking that they would have this leverage to reach their people. And like the Crips are the Devil's Disciples, or the Bloods and the Blackstone Rangers, whom I know. The Latin Kings. I knew the Blackstone Rangers. Brother was.
Okay.
Crazy, what did you see? You seem bothered by something. You seem bothered by something. You seem bothered by something. You seem bothered by something.
Bothered by nothing. What I saw, I wish I could forget. Shapeshifter, is this the reward you brought me? The confusion of seeing your twisted, naked, contorted form transforming into this creature that will play in my head forevermore. Surely you have doomed me, cursed me to this. My soul bleeds with your pain.
Your pain is but fleeting. Mine is forever. So you saw something no man need see who wants to remain sane. But think.
Get out of my head. Your pain, did you think of mine? When you brought me this, did you not know that I would come to see what you were doing? Did you not plan this?
I planned something, not like this, but I knew you would look. Now, you're under my spell.
I'm no more under your spell than I was before. Because I hate you and...
Where you had no feelings for me at all. No emotions for me. But now, you do.
For
Why did you bring me this?
I brought you this because you need some abnormality in your life.
Bitch, are you crazy? So as you see, people, we're the poster up. So when you come into Viva Music from their parking lot, and you come up the steps, you'll see me right here.
Did you play as African American, or did you play as non-specific?
No, I played it as an African American DI. Because the man who was in charge of DI school was Rick Dowell, one of the best DIs ever in the history of the Marines. He taught me. I copied him. So all those lines came from him, wasn't in the script. Only two things coming up from home, you eyeball me, that's all him.
That's all him?
Yeah, you should see what they cut out.
Okay, so how far are we away from getting back to the Oscar Michaud model?
We're getting very, very quickly, we're getting back, because now people are beginning to realize we have some quite intelligent young people of all colors and all shades who know that that's right. To tell you about my relationship with George C. Scott, who's a buddy of mine. He was very proud of having that because he got the Oscar, playing Pat. But at the same time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and myself were at Lincoln Center, and we were celebrating the reunion of the 761st Tank Battalion for Harlem. And the Jews did the rescue, looking around Doc Allen outfits. That wasn't in the movie. So George C. Scott came and said, "What's this?" And we told him. And he got a little upset, and he gave us Oscar back. The truth must remain the truth. And we haven't even started about the Westerns and medicine.
And the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Soldier haven't even begun. So there's a lot of work to do.
Traffic light.
How about all the medicines?
How about that?
You see, so Magic Johnson's got a new network now, and Andrew Young Jr.'s got a new network, so it's beginning to burst at the seams because they're not going to do it for some reason. It's too much in the DNA. It's hard for them to make that decision. So we have to make it for ourselves. It's going to happen whether they like it or not. Not revolutionary, it's quite American.
Quite American.
To tell the truth so that our children get nourished, not just the black ones. Our children get nourished with the information they need to carry this thing forward to our mutual compassion in this country. Without compassion, the country goes down. Racism is a big cancer in American society.
That's right. Without compassion, the country goes down because it's time for the people who were brought here to take their. But it's our time to take over what we know.
Absolutely.
Because it was beat into us.
Yes. Yeah.
And so it should be our time to take it over.
Well, there's lessons we have to do to our children in order for that to be prepared. The African American child is in the promised land today, but they were not taught those value systems I told you. I was taught because I came from that neighborhood where you couldn't go out the door unless you were together.
Right.
We need to be responsible for those kids. They're asking for boundaries. Most of them, some of them are gone. And most of those kids are asking for boundaries. They're trying to get us to pay attention, to tell them what they can and cannot do. So it's our responsibility to prepare this country for the brilliant young people to be dressed up, to be ladies and gentlemen of the school, and to make the neighborhood, the hood, safe for everybody when they spend their money and eat and invest in. That's our side.
That's our side.
That's our side.
And that's it. Impromptu interview with Louis Gossett Jr. It's my honor to sit here and interview with you. Man,
I'm sitting here falling in love right now.
So, would you say that now that we're separating Sicilian from Italian, that did the Italians have an organization?
Oh, absolutely. But they always had an answer to a Sicilian who was their boss.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So the Sicilians were the hierarchy over Italians.
Over Italians, exactly. There was always the top man in the syndicate was a Sicilian. Now, he might have underbosses, they could have been Italians, which, like I said, they could be Balenese, Toscani, Calabrese, that's, you know. But the top guy at an outfit or a syndicate was a Sicilian.
How did the smaller island, was that a dynamic that happened over in Europe, or was that, not Europe, but over there in the Mediterranean region, was that a dynamic that happened there, or did that happen here, being a minority within a minority coming?
That started in Sicily, as I said. There were so many wars.
No, I'm saying, how did the Sicilians become on top of something? Because it seemed like it would be more Italians, right?
More dangerous people.
Okay.
The Sicilians were more cold-blooded people who would react, you know, to violence much quicker than the average Italian. It's something that was in our blood, I guess. Because I'm speaking for the people I know.
So the Mafia or the syndicate, that would be like a fraternal order.
Yeah, if you put it that way, yeah.
How much of it is more spiritual to it? Because you have to prick your...
I know what you're saying. Right. In my day, they did have a place where you would go and they would ordain you, let's say, and you were going to become a boss. Had bosses in every group of guys, and it wasn't like they said a prayer or anything. You just had to take an oath on your family that this family that you're joining would come first, and your own family is second. All right, and this is a vow.
And wouldn't you say something about that your soul would be damned to hell?
No, I never seen that.
Okay.
It could possibly happen, but maybe in New York. New York and Chicago, Philadelphia were all different, all have different ways of doing things.
So the reason why I asked that you think it was a spiritual thing, because how many people do you believe actually believed took the blood oath, so to speak, the saint in the hand of the Virgin Mary? How many of them actually believed their soul, that they crossed the organization?
I think they were more worried about getting killed than going to hell.
Okay.
If they crossed that vow. They knew that they would be definitely going. There was no word about hell. You know, we all knew we had to die. We knew we were born to die.
This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing inside of Sight and Sound Center on North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's right. And when you want to get the BLKICE Chronicles DVD titles, you know it's only one place in Las Vegas where you can get it. Right here in Sight and Sound Center at 1000 North MLK Boulevard in Las Vegas. BLKICE Chronicles massive. This is Crazy Dee. I'm standing on Sunset in Hollywood. Right across the street from me is Amoeba Music. The BLKICE Chronicles female and the Shifter DVDs are selling here now. Pick up your copy right here in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard at Amoeba Music. All right, people.
Crazy Dee
on the BLKICE Chronicles.
Crazy Dee, director. He's here with me. There he is.
First of all, I want to thank the Las Vegas Film Festival for recognizing my film